Okay, welcome to Sistabiz. This show is on live. Thank you, Be More News, for having me as a host. I'm honored to be the host of this business show for women, entrepreneurship. Okay, Nicole, we have Nicole, or can you hear us, Nicole? No.
I can, but it's still like, I don't know, like an echo. Can you hear an echo?
I can't hear an echo on my end.
Okay.
But let's see.
Maybe.
Let's see. I can't hear you now.
Could,
Hi.
Hey there, how are
How are
you?
you? Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
I know Nicole's had saying there was a little echo in the background, so I was trying to see if we can get started. I can't hear her now though, but I can't hear you. But yeah, but just
Yeah, I
yeah,
know
shoot
my
it.
on my cell phone I get a stutter. So if I break up a
Are you
little
on the
bit or
cell
I
phone?
can't understand you, I have to
Okay.
get onto my laptop in order to
Okay,
get
so
a
it has to be on a
good
laptop.
stream.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay, well, I just want to get started and welcome everybody to Sister Biz. This is our first airing live on YouTube and on Facebook. I wanted to thank Donnie Glover for giving us this opportunity to talk entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
Since Yvette, since I know I can hear you good right now, you want to introduce yourself to everybody and tell everybody what you
Absolutely.
do.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I am Kivette Minor Kane. I am a financial liberation expert and with Mari Moore Life LLC. What I do is I guide women on their journey to self sufficiency by teaching them how to transform your mind and transform your money, understanding how our emotions affect our money management.
Okay. Wow. That's good. That's some good stuff. I think that's what a lot of people always when starting a business and having a business, they look at the creativity and not like, the behind the scenes stuff that actually keeps it going. So definitely that's some good stuff that we all as business, whether we're women or men, should definitely apply in our
Absolutely.
businesses.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Let's see. So are you located in Maryland or
Yes, I'm actually in Greenbelt, Maryland, but you can
okay.
reach me online on my website. It's www.marimorelife.com.
Okay, got it. So we'll actually have you repeat yourself again to the audience and towards the end. Let's get started. What I wanted to ask for myself as far as the listeners as well. What did you have to go through to get your business to where it's at right now? Like, can you give us some business tips? Can you give us some advice? Like, give us the rundown of where you are. How did you get to where you are today?
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So I started in business over 20 years ago. I first started my first business in 1998 in
Okay.
Baltimore.
Okay.
And since then, I have run several businesses. I was involved with multi level marketing. I've sold products and services. And currently, I'm a financial advisor, a financial liberation expert. And so I
Okay.
work with doing consultations for my clients, helping them with credit repair, budgeting, retirement planning, life insurance, as well as suggestions for investment, including real estate,
Oh
and
wow.
helping them to pull together their portfolio. And the information that I don't have, I have more resources, of course. My sisters in business who are able to, give the additional support through MariMoreLife.com.
Right, got you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
as far as what I had to go through to get here, oh girl, it's been forever. It's been 20 years, Lord have mercy. But
So
the
do you
short and
have
sweet,
hours? I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. I have my hours are on the website. I'm off
Okay.
on Mondays, but I work Tuesday through Friday, and then I have Saturday hours. Or
Okay. Great.
Tuesday through Thursday, and then Saturday hours. So I'm, available to not only just do the consultations, but I also have host seminars And so right now I'm hosting a Get Out of Debt and Retire Tax-Free seminar. For January, the seminar is free because I want to support everyone who has made their New Year's resolutions and they set their
Wow.
new goals and they're so encouraged and motivated. And so I want to help them to get off on a good foot in
Makes sense.
2021. Yeah, moving forward. And so folks can go to the website. That's marimorelife.com. That's MARIMORLIF as in Frank
Oh,
E.com. That's
wow.
marimorelife.com where they can go to register for those events as well.
Oh, that is good. That is good. Good
Thank you.
information. Definitely. Okay. Well, I always ask this question only because a lot of people ask me this question myself. What motivates
Mm-hmm.
you? What really motivates you to do what you do?
My motivation actually comes from within. It has always been my purpose to serve others. I
Right.
have from a young age wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I know that's in my DNA. It came from my dad. He was an entrepreneur, actually a double entrepreneur when he passed away. And both of his businesses were, up and running. He ran a media company. He did audio, video, and computer technology, as well as he ran a tow company. He was the newest company was the towing and hauling that he
Wow.
did, and that was the one he was most functioning in before he passed away. So I get that from him. And my motivation for getting into finance was understanding that the majority of businesses fail because we
Hmm.
don't understand financial management,
Yes.
and the same is true about, just in life, married,
Hmm.
single, whatever the situation is. If we're not succeeding, it usually has to do with our lack of understanding in terms of our money management. And so for
Right.
me, going into finance was being able to understand that so that I would be able to run my businesses effectively and then be able to, of course, at what I'm doing now, pass that information on to others so that they can find their own success as well.
Right. Right. That's some good stuff because that right there, it took me a minute to get that part. I'm gonna be honest. I thought I was doing
Yeah.
bad, but I just was like, I didn't know business. It was just more than just doing doing hair, doing these events that I do. I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta
Yeah.
really create a budget for myself when I do this stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There's a lot of planning involved.
I had to really learn through trial and error myself. So I get it
Okay.
definitely.
So, Jessica, you have to tell us about yourself. I'm sure you haven't
Yes,
introduced yourself
I
properly
should
to our
have did that
audience. So,
first.
Jessica, let me
Forgive
ask
me.
you, who
Forgive
are you and
me.
what
I
do
should have
you
started over.
do?
My name is Jessica, and I'm known as J Revive. I'm a hairstylist first. 2008, I got my cosmetology license, and then a few years later, I received my college degree through the University of Phoenix online. So I did that after having a child. I figured it was some additional accomplishment that I needed to do, and I felt like going to college was something that I needed to do for security. I did that. I'm not even gonna lie. I hated it. I hated it so bad, but I felt like it was
Yeah.
necessary when building something and starting. Just especially if you have children, you want to have that ground and that, stability for them. So I did that. Then I came back to the salon after working for the government for over 10 years, and I had a salon suite. So I did that. And then recently, when COVID and we've been in quarantine, I started thinking about some other ideas because I took a break from being in the salon. So I did that and I started making t-shirts and masks and stuff like that. So I have a customized business as well, that's doing pretty good. And I'm a hairstylist. I have online hair and body butter online. And as of the last few weeks, I am a salon owner now. So I'm in transition with building my salon. So everything, it's a lot of new stuff, but it's all good. And I always tell people it's really been a short period of time with me building everything that I have going on. But I think I
Mm-hmm.
surprised myself. I haven't even really took it all in the last few months because everything is doing well, and even from the beginning standpoint, the last 3 months, not to mention, I started a pop-up shop called Trap Star Vendors. So I started doing that, and the first two events, the first event I had 10 vendors, the second one I had over 35 vendors. So it's just to bring out other entrepreneurs and all types of businesses, and they come and set up and they make a decent amount of money within 4 hours. So I was happy to see that, they came to my event and, they made some change, so that's what I do. I have a lot going on, but this is why I'm here right now doing this. Cause, I feel like we all
Awesome.
have the same thing, we all have it. So that's me. I should have did that first, but that's who I
Absolutely.
am. And Donnie gave me this platform to lead us, and all of us come together to, tell other, entrepreneurs and audience and people that tune in on, how we do this. How did we come to where we are, today? The behind the scenes stuff, just like you said with the finances. Like that's something that I recently caught on. Not that again that I was doing bad in, but I felt like that's really the most important thing, is to have a guide, to have something to
Mm-hmm.
follow in this business, because whether it's selling shoes, whether it's selling shirts, whether it's the smallest things, like it's necessary to have a budget and being able to, budget your finances with building, because stuff add up. I don't care if you something costs $5, that stuff adds up, definitely. So that's who I
Absolutely. Yeah,
am.
the pennies that count the most.
Yes, yes. I'm like, even building this,
Absolutely.
with the salon stuff, like this is the most that I've had to really invest. And I'm like, dang, that costs that much.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do this, I gotta do that, even to the behind the scenes, the budget, the security, the internet, the, little stuff that we don't think of more than getting a clientele, So, that's what it takes. It takes
Yeah,
just a whole
absolutely.
lot, and patience and prayer too. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
so
absolutely. I know
yeah.
in
I
my
wanted to
seminar,
ask
I
you,
discussed.
oh,
Okay. So I was saying in my seminar, I discuss helping people to understand the importance of tracking their money, what they're
okay.
able to do with it, and how they're able to keep control over it, as well as what happens to your money when you put it in the bank versus putting it into another product where you're able to have a return on your investment.
Okay.
And so that's absolutely essential for us to be conscious that when we get our money, and I know as a stylist, I work with a lot of stylists. And I know that in the beauty industry, stylists get a lot of cash payments, or at least before COVID, they were receiving a lot of cash payments. And what I found with many of my clients during our consultation sessions was that they were receiving this money and not even knowing, what happened with it once it got into their pockets, because it was cash. And so as soon as
Hmm.
they got it, they were spending it on something. And so
Yes.
not being able to see actually how much money they made. I had one client who made $11,000 in 1 month, and she didn't know what happened to the money. It was
Hmm.
gone. She was like, "Well, where did I
Been
spend it?"
there.
I said, "Well,
Been
let's take a
there.
look and track
Hmm.
your business expenses, your personal expenses." And unfortunately, what happens when we have some extra, then we feel like we can do something extra. And so the extra that she had, instead of putting it in a place where it would be able to grow interest and to work for her, she took it and spent it. It grew wings, flew away, never come back again. And so, that's kind of what I try to help my clients to be aware of, working especially with women in this process, because we are so emotionally driven. Being able to recognize how, sometimes spending money can be a therapy for us, retail therapy.
Yeah,
We've all heard
definitely.
that term, and most of us have participated in it, myself
Hmm.
included. But it's
Yes.
really understanding the significance of that mentality and being able to be conscious enough to keep ourselves under control. And that's where the
Right.
emotional intelligence comes into place.
Right, right. And I wanted to ask, do you think a separate account is necessary just for our listeners? Because I know a lot of people, I have a business friends that I know from them sharing their
Mm-hmm.
personal finances with me, like they keep all their funds from their business in one account. And should they separate their business funds from their, how home?
Oh,
I want you to
absolutely.
tell them because they don't listen to me.
Yes, 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 yes. That is, mission number one. Separate your money. You want to track your spending in order to keep control of your money. In order to
Right.
be able to make the money work for you, you got to know, where it is and what you're doing with it. So if you got your personal spending as well as your business, finances all together, there's no way for you to really keep track of it the way that you need to. And unfortunately, the money will disappear from your business quicker than you expect, because it's just there and you got loads of money coming in, so you're thinking in your mind, oh, I can spend this, oh, I can do that, and before you know it, you have actually put your business in debt.
Right. I see what you're
And
saying. That makes
so
sense.
yes, absolutely, I recommend having separate accounts even for your personal spending. So the
Right.
way that I work with my clients in a cash flow consultation, we talk about what kinds of accounts for them to set up and how they can manage those accounts on a monthly basis so that they're able to
Right.
track their income, track their expenses, and their long-term and short-term spending or saving.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. Like, we need to create a guide for people to follow because that's good. You should create a guide. That's some good stuff, though. Like,
I actually have a book coming out in April.
oh,
So hopefully
awesome.
that will be the guide that women will be able to use in order to give them some guidance. In the book, I talk a lot about the lessons that I learned in hindsight over the years, so from my youth, how my emotional decisions affected my financial position, and even up to today, recognizing how the choices that I made have affected where I am, and the choices that I make now how they will affect my future.
Right.
So I discuss all
That's
of
some good
that and give
stuff.
some options. I share some affirmations, some lessons, some points of consciousness for folks to really think about, so that they're able to grow themselves on a financial level. Yeah.
Right, right. That makes sense. That's some good stuff. Okay, it was good stuff. I know you're gonna be on and listening to
Absolutely.
all these other two ladies. Nicole, can you hear us now?
I can.
Oh,
I just
good. Okay.
regrouped.
I was
How are
like,
you guys?
okay.
Oh,
Nicole,
I
you
had to
want to
reset.
introduce yourself to everybody?
My name is C. Nicole Orr. I'm the owner of ANC Pack and Ship and also Callistian Logistics. I also run Orr Development Group here in Baltimore City, where we pretty much go in and rehab houses in areas that are heavily gentrified.
Okay.
Um, I've been a real estate investor for 20 years, between here, Chicago, Brooklyn, um, and now I'm expanding into Gary, Indiana. So I'm excited.
Wow.
Yeah, yep.
Wow. That's so good. That's so good. How do you market yourself with that in that industry? Is that you,
And
you
with
just have to, as far as the real estate, do you actually set up online website? You set
net,
up I'm sorry, it's an echo. It's like a delay when I'm talking.
can, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you
Uh,
now.
Mostly for the real estate, I don't really work for anyone else. I control
Okay.
my own projects, so just about everything that I do is my own.
Okay.
I've never really thought about working for anyone else in that realm because I pretty much became a contractor so that I can control the budget.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Okay, okay. And is it an hours? How many hours do you work on the day? Is it a certain time frame? Is it 24 hours? Do you just get calls and you set your schedule for yourself for that business?
Well, as a landlord, you're pretty much on call 24 hours. If something
Right,
happens, you especially depending on the priority of the call, then you're pretty much on call 24 hours. But like
right,
today, I just we went to see a few projects and stuff that I may be interested in, and then
right,
I may go to the store between because like, we're open between 12 and 6.
right,
So
right.
whatever I have to do, I pretty much go before 12
Right, makes
and
sense. You
do
just do
those
your
hours.
stuff in between. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I just always wanted to ask that question because when I first started, I had this going on, that going on. I was all over the place. And I was
Right.
like, how do people do this stuff? How do you, because
Yeah.
you sound a lot like myself as far as, doing other different, things at once. But I
Mhm.
guess you find balance, after you do it for a while.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you gotta have your list of things to do and try to group it. I group,
Yeah, that makes
like
sense.
on my way, then I try to do, and I try not to engage in a lot of small talk either, because that'll
Right.
ruin your schedule a lot. So.
Okay. So do you as far as the real estate, I just want to get more involved in that because it's funny, I had someone come to me today when I was setting up the salon and they do the same, real estate stuff and they had a lot of questions. They were talking to me like I knew exactly, what they were talking about, but it was interesting, speaking to them about this stuff. And is it a difference between rehabbing or is rehabbing just rebuilding, getting a house and restoring them and remodeling them? I just wanted to understand that, even for the listeners. As far as can you give us some more knowledge on the rehab part of it, or is it just that's just rebuilding?
Well, rebuilding is something completely different because, a lot of times when people reference rebuilding, it may be structural issues.
Okay,
Rehabbing can kind of fall. It just kind of just depends. The
okay,
majority of it is where, and it's different levels because you may go in and just have to do cosmetic repairs to a home. I try
okay,
to deal in what we consider category fours.
Okay.
where we're talking about no joists, no rafters, no nothing, sometimes because that's where you get your best prices.
Right.
So
That's what you're saying.
you can't really be afraid of what it looks like when you actually purchase. You have to be prepared for, the end product, the goal, and focus on that because
That's what you're saying.
the worse the house is, the better the price a lot of times that you'll be able to walk in with equity and stuff. But rehabbing, I mean, it's so many different. Some people just want to buy things that they can just go in and paint and put carpet and things in, and they'll consider that to be a rehab. But complete renovation and rehabbing,
Right.
going floors where we're talking about complete tearing out, that's what I prefer to focus on.
Okay, okay, understand. I had a guy because he was talking. Sometimes you meet people, they talk to you like you know what
Right,
they're talking about. I'm like, that's not my lane, but it was just interesting to hear, the conversation. So
right.
most definitely, definitely. So do you have to get like any type of permits, paperwork from the government, legal documents? Is it easy to get those things as far as get rebuilding these houses? Is the process hard to actually do?
Well, no, I think that, but you do have to a lot of times know the area that you're dealing in, because what
Okay,
happens is that you do have contractors that can be very abusive in regards to inflating your costs, running away with your money.
right,
So that's one reason why I really wanted to become control in the process. Although I was pretty seasoned, it was just something that I was able to cut out the middleman. In regards to permits in Baltimore City, you have to practically permit everything.
right. Okay,
That's just their process. And depending on whether or not there's any structural issues, then you have to take it a step further. And of course, have your structural engineers, of course, your architects, just in order
right.
to get those permits pulled. And a lot
Okay.
of you do have to have a licensed contractor on record for that.
Right.
In Baltimore City, each trade pretty much pulls their own permits. So
Okay.
that's basically something that you really have to factor in when you're going to complete your rehab. Baltimore County is a little bit different because in Baltimore County they're not as hard on the permits as they are in the city, but you still
Right.
got to
The rules are
but you still
different.
have to pull your permits and stuff. So, but it's always good to use someone you trust, and that was half the problem with me. So that's why I became my own. I can control my own. So.
I had a question that someone just sent me to ask
Mhm.
you. They
Okay.
wanted to know, do you have a lot of cash to start? What's the startup cost? Is it a major expense to start doing something like this, or is it a low startup cost? Basically, what is the first steps of getting started?
A lot of times you don't have to have a lot. You didn't used to. And people group their money as well together to be able to buy. Like right now, we went to look at one today, and a few of my friends were interested in putting together and buying it outright. It just depends because you can acquire properties off the tax sale, but what I will caution anyone is when you're participating in Baltimore City tax sale that you do your due diligence with the demolition department,
Right.
because a lot of times those demo liens have not been filed, and it may take a year for them to hit your lien sheets, and it may not be part of your tax sales. But tax sales are an excellent way to acquire, and depending on the location that you're purchasing a tax sale, you can walk into properties for like $500. But
Hmm.
the foreclosure is where they get you, like the attorney fees. Depending on how
Right.
many you buy, it's possible that you could kind of team up with an attorney to try to get it down to at least $1,000 per lot. So
Makes sense. Hmm.
yeah,
Interesting.
but that's good because like I brought a whole lot for my kids. I just gifted it to my children, and it's right in
Right.
the path of a multi-million-dollar development, and that was all tax sales that we foreclosed.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you do seminars? Do you do
No,
workshops?
no, I
You should
haven't. I
consider
haven't.
that.
I could, but I mean, like right now, I'm kind of branching off into the whole logistics stuff, so it's kind of
Makes
hard for
sense.
me
Yeah,
to
I get it.
like hone in on that. But I mean, I'm always, if someone calls, I give them the information for free, because
Yeah,
I,
makes
I
sense.
want to
Good stuff.
see, I want to see us get in, because right
Yeah,
now it's a lot of areas that are being heavily gentrified, and
you're
we
right.
got we got to reclaim it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, all right. So, do you have a website where people purchase properties, or how can anybody find you and locate you? Can you give us that information?
Right now, the only website that I have is in regards to my storefront, ANC
Okay,
Pack and Ship. So that
okay,
website is
okay.
www.acpackandship.com.
Got
And my
you. Okay,
phone number's on there and everything. So
okay. You know how to find you. We'll put it in the notes and everything so everybody can locate you. Okay,
thank you.
all righty. I have the Makeup Truck Studio. Wait until y'all hear this young lady speak. I want her to introduce herself because you have never seen nothing like this. Like, it's one thing to go and get your makeup done. You go to Mac, you go to Macy's, get your makeup done, all that stuff. No, y'all got to see this. And I want everybody that's listening, if you ever need your makeup done for weddings, if you just want to look pretty one day, just give yourself that experience. Go to the makeup truck.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you for that grand entrance, Jessica. Hello, ladies. My name is Carolyn, and I am the owner of the Makeup Truck Studio. The Makeup Truck Studio is a unique atmosphere where ladies can come in and get makeup done ladies can come in and get their makeup done. I'm sorry. Can get their makeup done on the truck in an intimate setting. It's very professional. You can get that one-on-one professional time with the client and the artist. There are 3 makeup stations inside. It's very spacious, very clean, and just intimate, because I know these days a lot of us are going to artists' homes, or the makeup artists are coming into your home. So I wanted to create a solution to where people can feel comfortable getting these services, and the artists can also feel comfortable and safe providing them.
Wow. Good stuff. All right. I have somebody that actually I'm getting a lot of questions tonight. As
Oh,
far
good.
as the makeup, should when applying, is it a step you should take before actually applying makeup just for everyday use? Is it just is it a concealer? Is it a
Oh,
moisturizer?
yes, of course. I always, always, always tell all of my clients, friends, family, rule number 1, your makeup is only going to be as good as your skin. If your skin is not taken care of, then the makeup is not going to be finished in the style that you, or the look that you would desire. So I always recommend people just taking good care of their skin, using good skincare products, moisturizing, and just staying on top of that, because like I said, no matter how much makeup you put on, no matter how expensive the product is, the outcome is not going to look as good if your skincare regimen is not on, where it should be.
Wow. Wow. The whole makeup truck experience, do people come to you? Do you travel? How do
Yes.
you do this?
So as of now, I do allow clients to come to me. I have the Makeup Truck Studio parked in my driveway.
Okay.
And once it's warmer outside, and of course COVID dies down some, we'll be doing some outdoor events, partnering up with prom, fashion shows, weddings. And I would also like to step into that charitable world, do some work with some ladies in foster care, things like battered places, sorry, things with like where battered women are getting serviced, children's hospitals, just do some charity work where I can give back to the community and also
Makes sense.
well. So
Wow, wow. So do you have parties? Do you have events? I know COVID is here, but
I
I
know.
want to get people going when it gets warm outside. I want them to see, this truck.
Yes, as of now, I do offer one-on-one makeup classes, where
Okay.
one person in there and myself, and I'm teaching for about an hour or two, depending on the slot you choose.
Right.
And I do offer parties. However, I'm only doing parties if it's less than 5 people.
Right.
Sort of like a modern day Mary Kay, I guess you can say.
Right.
It would be in the truck, which only has 3 stations, but typically I can come into the home as well, and do the party. without the truck. So if you prefer for me to do it and host it in your home like they used to do with Mary Kay, that's an option. And also I can do it with the truck. So whatever the client prefers, I'm always looking to, create some unique experiences so everyone can learn and have fun at the same time.
Wow, this is good, good, good. So I always ask this question, and I asked this to the earlier. What motivates you? I know makeup is more a creative, job to do. What motivates you in this business?
I feel like I motivate myself. I'm always looking to stand out with everything that I do, and there's a lot of other women that share those similar interests. And I wanted to kind of stand on something where I can separate myself and my business from everyone else. I want the vision to match the image to match the vision. And
Mm-hmm.
always want to just kind of set the bar and stand out and just be a lot different than everyone else. Because, like I said, the beauty industry is a large industry full of
Right,
talented, and we all share similar interests. So if I can stand out in some way, I would. And just my family, God, anything that
right,
to have growth within myself and my business is very satisfying for me. So I like to use those things when going in um, and completing tasks and just driving the business forward.
right. I know it's a few people that's starting out in the business, especially in the beauty industry. What advice? Because I know sometimes people just don't know how to start. I mean, so many people that they have the skill, they have the creativity, they're smart, but they just don't know how to start. What advice would you give someone in the industry in makeup to even start? Like, how do they build their clientele? What advice can you give to help them even for them to even be seen?
A lot of people think starting is the hardest part. I like to believe starting is the easiest part. Coming up with that idea. Where do you envision yourself? What type of brand do you want to have for yourself? Just kind of look into those qualities and see what do you expect from yourself. And then from there, you build on it. Social media is always a good platform to expose yourself and your business and showcase your art. On friends and family, doing some promotional shoots, partnering up with some photographers so you can
Mm-hmm.
solid in professional content to show. And just consistency, just doing what you need to do, staying focused, staying driven, and not giving up. I mean, it is a hard industry to crack, I think,
Right,
but
right,
get there, it can be rewarding, challenging at times, but a good challenge. And I think
right,
if you have the passion for it, it will never feel like work when you're doing it. So
right. That's
absolutely.
right.
And I would just suggest consistency for everybody and just, starting small and building gradually. Don't try to do everything at once because you'll become overwhelmed and
Makes
frustrated,
sense.
giving up, and nothing is done in a day. So just keep that mindset and stay consistent.
Oh, you gave us a lot of information. I hope those that's in the beauty industry that's listening, because you gave them all these free tips to
Yes.
start. So that's some good stuff. I even learned a lot just now. Like, wow, like maybe I should start doing makeup now.
Right.
Say, but definitely good stuff. So how can our audience find you? Like, where can we find you?
Yeah. So the Make Studio. Everything is spelled TheMakeupStudio. Sorry, that was a tongue twister. the, at the Makeup Chuck Studio, and they can also email me. My booking link is on there as well. And if they wanted to contact me quick, they can easily DM me. So all the information is on the Instagram page, and the website is linked under that as well.
Wow, wow. Okay, good stuff. I wanted to let you go, but I wanted to mention one more thing. I know you shared with me a while back that your husband is starting a photography thing. So how do you guys work together? And are you guys a team? I like the whole partnership thing. So I
Yeah.
wanted you to tell everybody about that real quick.
Well, my husband is very artistic. If he has a vision or an interest, he goes full force into it, and I definitely love that about him. we've been partnering up, and every time I take some photos, I'm very picky about how I want things to look, and I can't seem to complete that as well as he can. So we started playing around, doing some photo shoots and offering some services to some of our close friends and family. And it was kind of like, we could really do this. I have the tools and you have the equipment, we can collaborate and start pushing this Black owned husband and wife business and just group things, because I know a lot of times clients come to me, they're always asking, do you know someone that does photos? And of course I do. I'm always sending them so many places, but I can't guarantee that that person would be available. And I know with my husband, the photographer, I live with him, so I know how the makeup is supposed to look. I know where the contour is supposed to go, and I'm sitting
Right.
with him, and we're tackling this together as a team. So it's definitely interesting, but
Yeah.
that it would be a good benefit to have two groups and not have to look elsewhere for photography or outside, because we work together very well. So he will be posting some more things from my work soon. So we'll be launching that pretty soon.
Wow, that's some good stuff. Y'all building an empire over there.
Trying to.
That's good. I'm glad that we got a chance to speak with you. I'm so glad you was available to speak with us today.
Thank you guys for, including me in these conversations. I've learned a lot about these ladies so far, and I'm just interested, in hearing more, because you never know until you know. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm sitting here intrigued. I'm like, from Nicole to get back. I'm like, wow, you guys are awesome. Like, I can't wait to hear Lady J. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lady J. I'm here in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on the show. I really do appreciate it. I love networking. I love meeting people. So thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. We want to hear what it is that you do. I love the name.
Well, just to tell you, is it okay to tell you how I got it?
Yes, yes.
I always have to ask when I go on the show.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Yeah, I actually worked in the medical field for 25 years.
Okay.
That's where I was going to retire from, but I ended up having a major stroke in 2015, and I had a 2016, and then I had another one in 2017.
Wow.
So not to walk or talk, or my cognitive skills were gone. And it just took me a long time to get through therapy, because once I would get on my feet and I would start walking, because I had to literally learn how to walk again. And so once I would learn how to do it, another stroke would hit me, like another full-blown stroke would just hit me. And it happened 3 times. And after the 3rd time, my job decided that I was not fit to come back to work.
Wow.
And told me that I would have to take off. And, luckily I had insurance and everything, that was able,
Right.
for the months to pay me. But I really started getting sad. Like, what am I supposed to do now?
Mm-hmm.
And, people have always called me like the social butterfly, because I'm always talking to people, and I love to read. And so as a gift, my sisters took me to Las Vegas to the Stellar Awards, which I didn't want to go to because I had been to Vegas so many times that I really did not want to go. And I just wanted to get back to me. But I went to the Stellar Awards, and I was walking around doing me, talking to everybody. And I didn't realize I was in the section where the news hosts are there, radio, media, and I'm just there talking to everybody. And the one guy that I bumped into was asking me who I was and what my show was. And I said, no, I'm just here. And we started talking, and he said, you have to meet my boss. And when he introduced me to her, she owns her own station, a gospel radio station in Phoenix, Arizona. And she has 2 other, and they're also in 2 other states. And we ended up having a conversation. Her and I really connected. And she said, can I call you tomorrow? And we were still in Vegas. She called me the next day and offered me my own radio show. And that was in May of 2019. And
Wow.
I'm sorry, it was in March of 2019. And I explained to her that I was still recovering from my stroke and I was still dealing with a little bit of short-term memory loss. So this woman worked with me every single day. And she set my show schedule date for May of 2020. And I ended up doing my show and the ratings were crazy. And I went on to have 4 more shows. And then the Now Network called me because I'm a life and spiritual coach. And they called me to do a show with them. So I just finished up doing the show with them in May of 2020. So I was doing shows. I started producing shows. The one show I decided to do is called What Up Baltimore. And I don't know if you all know about the crime in Baltimore, but it's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just upset one night and I decided to go live and just say, you know, what up, Baltimore? I'm about to do this show where we just sit here and vent. And a politician called me and he was asking if he could be on my show. So I had to get up and really make a What Up Baltimore show. It turned into being something that was so phenomenal because the entire year from December 2019 up until like December of this past year, just interviewing all of the politicians, senators, delegates, I mean, just everybody, people that I thought I would never meet. I was interviewing them, hosting their events, going out to dinner with them, all kinds of stuff. And then a lady in Baltimore who owns a radio station was talking to me, and she was looking for a partner. So I went into partnership with her in May of 2020. And, you know, being a life coach, I always give myself a year and I always give myself a beginning date and an ending date for what I'm going to do. It's either going to work or it's not going to work.
Right, right.
At my other station was May 2019. And I said, I'll see how this go up until May 2020. And it was phenomenal.
Wow.
Partnership. And while I was in partnership, I realized that I like being in partnership, but it was just still something missing with me. And then my mom had gotten sick. So it was a lot going on. And I just said, you know what, I think I'm going to pull back. And I said that in December. And around that time, there's a business owner here in Baltimore who had been watching everything that I'm doing. And he calls me Oprah all the time. He said, Oprah is a magazine. And I said, Oprah doesn't have Oprah's money, so I can't. So I want to show you guys something.
Sure.
He actually paid for me, and it just came out yesterday. He actually to have my own What Up Baltimore magazine.
Congratulations!
And I'm really excited. We have a lot of great people in the city and here.
Wow.
And so next I'm getting set up with our city council person, and I know the mayor and everything. So we're going to get them in there for the Black History edition, but this is the January edition. And he blessed me to have my own magazine. And the only thing he wanted me to do is just do the interviews. He said, just go and do what you do.
I know that's right.
House. So thank you to Ahmad Rayner. He paid for all of this. And now Lady J has her own What Up Baltimore magazine.
I know that's right.
Across my bed. Vintage.
I know that's right. That is some good stuff.
So I decided that he's become a really good friend. And he was talking to me that you need to do your own thing. So I decided into having my own station and my own platform, Lady J Media. And I needed to figure out how to do it because I believe when you go into business, you have to be different from other people. Mm-hmm. And you have to see why they should come and invest their money in you. So I came up with a formula plan. And with this formula and plan, my business launched on January 4th. And I now have 13 radio shows to date. And I still have people calling me because of this formula that I've developed where anybody can have a radio show. And once I sit down and talk to people about how they can have their own show, they're like, I have not advertised the first time. And I've not had to because everybody who's with me started sharing word of mouth, and so it's gotten out. And so within I would say about in 2 weeks, no, maybe it's only been about a week, I have 13 shows. And so
Wow.
I had 3 shows a day that I had to stream out, and basically I'm streaming out shows instead of me being in the studio like I was before. I'm able to stream you. You're on the radio, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter. Periscope now moving over to Twitter, but for right now it's Periscope and Twitter. And so you're on all of the major social media platforms being streamed live at the same time. And so I'm also during the month, I'm going to be offering tutorials to all of my hosts. All of the hosts will have a free story in their book in the magazine about what they're doing. So one of my hosts is an author, and him and his wife are in this month's January magazine. We'll be doing a spotlight for them. And so it's just been a lot going on, and I'm just really excited because it's growing. And my son is my business partner. He's 25. And so he did all of the creative stuff on the magazine, the photography, and
Wow.
stuff. So yeah.
That's some good stuff. How can we find you? How can is your talk show weekly? Is it
I am now, I'm owning the company now. I own my company. I now have people who are doing shows through me. And so those are the 13 shows I'm talking about.
okay?
I have fallen back. I'm still going to do my What Up Baltimore show, which is on Monday nights. But if people want to get a show with Lady J Media, they can contact me through email, which is LadyJWUB, and that's for What Up Baltimore, at gmail.com. So
Okay.
at gmail.com.
Okay.
432974753.
Okay, good. I enjoyed hearing your story. It's just like I always tell people, when you go through stuff, your hardest day is always a reward in the end. I'm a believer of that. So, like, keep pushing, keep going. Like, I know this time next year is going to be another story. So, it's going to be a great story. So, congratulations on everything that you have going on. All right, ladies, it was nice speaking with. I don't even want to leave, but you all of you ladies share so much information for all of our listeners. Like I said, I had people send me messages. I see the messages on the live YouTube. They had questions. I couldn't answer all the questions, but I did let them know that all the contact information was going to be in the notes. So this is some good stuff. I really appreciate you guys. And I want to run through real quick again, just to give all our listeners, of your website, your number, just one more time, how to contact you and reach you guys. So let's start with, who do we start with first? I don't know why my voice, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I don't know, my keep going in that. Nicole, you want to give us your website, your information, your email one more time? We'll go down the line.
Sure. My website is ANC Packandship. It's www.acpackandship.com. I could be reached at 443-740-4743.
Okay, and the Makeup Truck Studio, give us your information one more time.
All right, my social media Instagram is the Makeup Truck Studio, and you all can also reach me through email at the Makeup Truck Studio at gmail.com.
Okay, and Kevin, give us your information.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, yeah, there you go. I'm having a terrible connection over here. I missed half the show.
It's fine.
But I'll go back and listen. So, contact me and for attending the seminar, you can visit my website .marimorelife.com.
Okay. So we'll put the website information for those that didn't hear, just because of the connection issue, just to make sure. We got you, but we got you though. All right, Lady J, one more time for us.
Can you hear me?
I can hear. Can you hear me? Can you hear? say something else? I can't. You keep going in and out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I enjoyed you. Lady J, you want to give us your information one more time?
Thanks again for having my if you'd like to do a radio show, you can email me at ladyjwub, and that's ladyjwub at
Is that
gmail.
for me?
You can also call me at 443-297-4753, and you can text me at that number if you're interested in doing a show, and I guarantee you'll have a show. Oh, and also, Lady J, look up Lady J, the social butterfly, and you'll see my page there on Facebook.
Great. You guys, you ladies were like awesome. All the great information, from everybody's pretty much diverse tonight with the skills, and I learned a lot from each and every last one of you. Of course, we're gonna do this again next week. To those that can join us next week, every Wednesday at 6:30. Tune in with us for the Sistabiz, and of course, you can find me at jrevive.com for all my upcoming events and all my business stuff that I have going on. So I hope you guys can tune in again. And I thank you guys for sharing all your stories and all the good business stuff. I really enjoyed having you guys on this show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.